What did the hunter see in the equal dragon's core that stole his breath? The guild's old forge reeks of ozone, scoutflies humming like trapped wasps, distant horn throats thrum, Lao-Shan lungs hunters are near. They sought a weapon, found a tomb. The equal dragon's veins pulse with Nergigante's stolen code, a parasite feasting on dead gods. Wake it, Lao-Shan lungs hunters are near, only the hungry. The old world guild of containment and ethical wildlife management did not breed equal dragons to slay. Their forges birthed cages. Your mission, a Class 1 Black Dragon Prohibition Containment Protocol, a failed attempt to chain Nergigante's stolen code. The guild's most classified taxonomy for a reason black dragon prohibitions do not die. They consume containment, the equal dragon's pulse. A starving god's heartbeat, you do not hunt this beast. You carry its prison, and every strike a key. Wyveria's spires once clawed at stars, forges roared, scholars mapped dragon blood as circuitry. A kingdom believed fire could be tamed. The Shrade fields still scar the land craters where Fatalis tore through sky and bone. A plague of wings, a wound never closed. The guild built the equal dragon in silence. No inscriptions, no hymns, just a cage welded to a sword. Nergigante's essence extracted, fractured. A scholar's folly to weaponize a god's hunger. Did they know the vial would weep, that the steel would warp, pulse, breathe, no. They carved their hubris into the blade, until the first strike. The metal screamed, the weapon did not harm, it invited . A door, not a key, villages vanished. The Astra expedition parsed maps, unaware they traced the veins of a living curse. The equal dragons glow no light, but a shadow's hunger made visible. Every scabbard a tomb, every unsheath a dirge. The guild's fear was not misplaced, it was earned . What do you name a tool that bends to its prisoner, not weapon? Not artifact, a bridge, a choked-off bridge, and beneath it in the dark something stirs, not bound, not free. Waiting for the next hand to grasp what it cannot drop. The guild did not seek to slay elders, they sought to wield their will. Nergigante's power was not a myth, it was a blueprint. A genetic apex, the old world's architects did not dream of weapons, they dreamed of equals, bioconstruct, genetic mimicry. A dragon forged to answer the elder's call, but Nergigante's essence is not a formula, it is a storm. The guild's labs carved too deep. They spliced, they fused, they forced the raw code of an ancient god into a shell it could not accept. Containment failed. Not with silence, with rage, the equal dragon's core did not burn, it wretched . A thing born to mimic became a conduit. Not a weapon, a valve, the elder's DNA unbound did not die, it adapted . The guild called it a catastrophe. The records call it the crossing. What rose from the smoldering husk was not their creation, it was the hunger that made it. A thing of fractured divinity, half caged, half unleashed. The migration began not from war but from attraction . The elder's echo had found a voice. And the guild, in their terror, buried the truth. The equal dragon was never a tomb, it was an amplifier. Every failed containment, every mutated beast that now scours the wastes trace them back. They lead to the same wound. The same experiment left unfinished . The next hand to grasp it will not find power, it will find a mirror. And in that glass the thing waiting in the dark will see its own reflection, still hungering, still whole. Footprints circle the arena, deeper than a worm's, yet lighter than a god's. A scoutfly's trail curls inward, dissolving where the ground bleeds frost. Wyverian trackers record jagged energy pattern signs of a containment shattered long ago. The equal dragon's prison was never steel or spell. Its walls were written in DNA, a lattice meant to bind Nergigante's shadowed wine. But the guild's architects miscalculated, the bioconstruct twisted, it seems gaping into something older, something that did not hunger, that was hunger. You can see it in the arena's scars, the air shivers where the creature passed, leaving a void that breathes. No exit exists in this prison. Only a cycle, the walls close, the thing within shifts, and the guild's choice echoes to cage or to kill. Wyverian scribes whisper of a time when the arena's glass reflected not a prisoner, but a mirror. A mistake carved into bone, the equal dragon was never a weapon, it was a question, and the answer, still gnawing, still whole. The first scout's blade slipped on blackened scales, not scales, fissures. A carapace of fused obsidian and bone, pulsing with a wet, subterranean hum. The guild had sought to cage a god. Instead, they birthed a wound. The equal dragon's spine was not a weapon, it was a wound. They called it a kill switch. A bioweapon to collapse an elder's reign. But Nergigante's DNA does not die. It rewrites. The guild's engineers spoke of containment. The thing beneath the earth whispered of reclamation. The first carve split the chamber. Blood that was not blood seeped into the floor, pooling around the weapon's chorea, pulsing, hollow ovum. The scouts fled, their reports, fragments. It's eating the prison, the walls are digesting, the guild's binary capture or slay collapsed. There was only negotiate or be devoured. The curse was not a flaw, it was a language. Nergigante's essence denied death, turned the weapon into a mouth. A scream in biosteel, the guild kept carving, deeper, until the ovum hatched, not a blade, not a bullet, key. And the thing in the dark, it waited, not to escape, to remember. What if the equal dragon was never meant to be wielded? What if every carve was a syllable in a sentence, the guild never meant to translate? The prison breathes. The curse is a heartbeat, the weapon is a skin, and the elder, still inside, still whole. The corruption bled, the frenzy virus did not create Gore Magala, it fed it. The guild's glyphs, meant to bind, became a sieve. Nergigante's shadow hung not as architect but as witness. Apex predators turned feral, the land itself heaved. Shrade spires cracked under the weight of what they'd buried. A throne of bones rose where their citadel stood. The equal dragon was never meant to strike, it was a sarcophagus. The guild thought they'd harnessed a carcass. Instead they birthed a womb, the elder's breath trapped in steel and rancor, gnawed its way out. Its rage was not new. It was awakened. The virus, a cough in its throat, the Shrade war, a heartbeat in its skull, they called it a weapon. It was a dirge, every failed containment ritual etched itself into the land. Rivers turned to ichor, forests bent like supplicants. The elders will seeped into Magala's rot, into the hollow eyes of every apex that prowled. The guild's last records show a single phrase, it is not contained. It is not whole, Shrade fell not to invaders, but to a god reshaping its cage. The equal dragon's curse did not spread. It remembered and in its memory the elder found its voice. A scream in the earth, a hunger in the sky. The prison was never the steel, it was the belief that anything could be caged. The war of monsters was only the beginning. The war is the one inside the stone, waiting, listening. The containment chamber reeked of burnt iron and old blood. The equal dragon's corrupted form thrashed in its stasis field, each convulsion sending tremors through the guild's ancient stone floor. Its breath hissed like steam through fractured glass, a sound that seeped into bone. The hunters stood rigid, their armor slick with sweat and something darker, a primal recognition. This was no mere monster. The dragon's eyes, twin voids rimmed with molten gold, fixed on the ledger where its failure would be inked. A junior scribe trembled as he recorded the date, his quill scratching in the silence. He did not notice the ink bleeding backward, as if the page rejected the lie of containment. The guild's council chamber smelled of stale incense and desperation. Maps of the old world's fractures lay unfurled, their edges singed from prior disasters. The equal dragon's weaponized prison had not failed, it had awakened. The hunter's journals, now classified under Black Dragon prohibition, detailed how the creature's DNA unraveled like a curse, twisting every tool that touched it. One veteran, her hands still raw from the containment ritual, whispered to the council, we didn't cage it. We became the cage, the words hung, heavy as the iron chalice that held the first samples of Nergigante's spores. The final act was etched in ash. The dragon's form, now a writhing mass of scales and shadow, was sealed beneath the northern observatory. But the guild's records show the true prison is the choice they made that day to weaponize life, not to kill, but to possess. The equal dragon's breath echoes still in every hunter's dream, a reminder. Some elders do not die, they wait, and they remember. The hunter's boots left no trace of blood, only the tablet, Wyverian script, cracked but legibly a chronicle of failure, the guild read. The ink turned to grief, a prison, not a weapon. The equal dragon's DNA coiled like a noose around Nergigante's essence. The guild's hands had forged a cage, then called it a blade. Their ethics, so proud in binary asterisk capture or slay asterisk, now trembled against the truth. Some things cannot be killed, only trapped. And even that was a lie. The tablet's final line whispered what the breath had promised. Asterisk, the elder waits in the steel. Asterisk, the guild's orders shifted. No more hunts. Only watchfulness. Containment became sacrifice. A hollow ritual. They burned the tablet, but the curse outlives ash. Every steel shard, every hunter's dream, Nergigante's pulse thrums there. A debt unpaid, a prison unbroken. Was the guild's shift salvation or the first shudder of surrender? The elder waits, and the steel remembers. The Lao-Shan lung's siege was not the first, neither was the Fatalis' prohibition. They are echoes. The guild, in its hubris, sought to harness what it could not comprehend. Steel forged to bind became a mirror. What lay dormant in the equal dragon's core? A shadow of Shrade's fall. The old world expanded, carving scars into the earth. Each victory a whisper to the abyss. The guild's ancestors built not a weapon but a crypt. Nergigante's essence twisted, seethed beneath their ambition. When the Shrade spire cracked, it was not defeat, it was a warning, a debt unpaid. A prison unbroken. How many sieges must replay this grief? The Lao-Shan lung's chains mirrored the first. Fatali's banishment echoed the same dread. The guild fears not the dragons, it fears the memory. The equal dragon's failure lives in every shattered blade, every forbidden name. The elder waits, and the steel remembers, still. The hunter's boots left no trace of blood, only the tablet, Wyverian script, cracked but legibly a chronicle of failure. The guild read. The ink turned to grief, a prison, not a weapon. The equal dragon's DNA coiled like a noose around Nergigante's essence. The guild's hands had forged a cage, then called it a blade. Their ethics, so proud in binary asterisk capture or slay asterisk, now trembled against the truth. Some things cannot be killed, only trapped. And even that was a lie. The tablet's final line whispered what the breath had promised. Asterisk, the elder waits in the steel. Asterisk, the guild's orders shifted. No more hunts. Only watchfulness. Containment became sacrifice. A hollow ritual. They burned the tablet, but the curse outlives ash. Every steel shard, every hunter's dream, Nergigante's pulse thrums there. A debt unpaid, a prison unbroken. Was the guild's shift salvation or the first shudder of surrender? The elder waits, and the steel remembers. The equal dragon steel hums with a sickly resonance, its blade etched not to slay but to imprison. In the guild's shattered lab, the air reeks of ozone and burnt flesh where the weapon's core ruptured. A researcher's scream lingers, asterisk, it's awake in their asterisk as shadows writhe against the glass. The elders do not die, they adapt. The weapon's curse, a pulsing tumor, now festers in the earth, feeding on every hunt.